Good afternoon. Another video today from yours truly. My friend and I are in Punxsutawney, home of the world's most famous weatherman, Punxsutawney Phil. This is in Jefferson County. It is about, I think, 17, 18 miles south of DuBois. A lot of Amish in this area. They don't live like right in town, but in the outskirts, 5 miles outside of it or something, out in the cornfield areas. A lot of Amish in the area. This here is a little plaza. I got good cell phone reception. I hope this phone, I hope it doesn't I don't have the best of luck with these live streams. A lot of times they just stop. They're selling some fresh produce here. I see that outfit all over around here. Just giving you a view of what it is really like in the area. Not very pretty in town. I don't think the town of Punxsutawney is very attractive, but it's kind of neat. It has its own charm. And the cool thing about Punxsutawney is this is the place where they have the annual Punxsutawney Phil. Looks like a rough bar. Aldi's is always cheap. You see Amish at Aldi's all the time. They come and get 2 shopping carts, at a time. They don't drive themselves, so they hire drivers, usually vans. I hate seeing those trees going down the road, look at that. I wonder what beautiful forest has been chopped up by, excessive chopping. Excessive. I think some chopping is really necessary to manage the forest and stuff. I get it, and we do need wood, but it can get pretty darn excessive, and that's what I don't like. Lonnie's Restaurant. It's got to be a cute little place. We're in the south side of town, so we're not in the downtown yet. Yeah, definitely not Pennsylvania's most attractive town. There we go. Here's a Pennsylvania deal. Those are Amish. A lot of the Amish do the roofing work around here. Yeah. You see Amish working on roofs all the time. They usually put the tin roofs on. They put those up inside of an afternoon, maybe 2 afternoons, and it's cheaper, it's lighter, it's faster than the old-fashioned asphalt roof. The thing I don't like about it is it's really loud when it rains. You can hear the roar. We're about maybe 2 blocks from the center of town. I hope the video isn't too boring for anybody who's watching it in the future. Obviously nobody's watching it right now. Hello to myself and I. Oh, I see 2 people. This here is the main street of Punxsutawney, just south of town. Well, we all know what time of year it is, huh? It's actually the happiest holiday on earth. Nobody's left out, you know? I mean, now that's kind of a cool looking house. It's not great, but it's cool. They got a fireplace, you know, in there. I like the structure of that. Needs a lot of work, but it's got good bones. Huh. Yeah, there could be some big changes for Noah Road, financially speaking. I've been working on this and preparing for this day for many, many years. I've always had a feeling that I'm going to be kind of a cool looking street. I'll get off of the main street and this town almost has a southern feel to it, like a little bit of a southern charm. I would definitely classify this as, you know, in a northern kind of a way. It's a little bit rednecky. It's kind of cool looking. Goes straight up the hill, off in the distance. Lots of nooks and crannies, and you know, old drafty houses that probably are on the verge of needing to be replaced. In reality, the whole grid of this country is going to be needing to be replaced before too many years. The electrical grid is going to have to be replaced with something more efficient. Roads are going to have to be replaced, sewage, water, a lot of things, even cash and stuff. And I think that's what the globalists are preparing for a major, major herd reduction plan. They're going to scale back humanity big time in order to, I guess, push the reset button on everything. You know, redo the grid, redo electric, get rid of coal, fossil fuels. You know, these old houses, look at how old and energy, they're not efficient for energy, you know. Look at those old houses. The electrical it just sucks everything out of everything. It's just, there's no energy efficiency in it. Cars need to be changed. They want to have more controls where they could shut your car down if you disregard the laws. A cop comes behind you and somebody wants to take off, they can just boom, shut it off by remote control you. Get rid of the cash so people don't have a you know, the private market anymore. So every transaction is, you know, the government's aware of it. I mean, you could see, I mean, if there's no God or anything like that, then obviously someone's got to step in. Some globalists are going to have to step in and do something, or else humanity's just going to destroy itself. But I'm holding out hope for a divine intervention myself. I've got my own ways on that. I'd love to be able to talk about it, but heck, I don't have the audience for it. I'm more flexible than a lot of people, but at the same time, I'm kind of set in my ways. I have room for flexibility. I'm flexible because, look, everything is just spirit source of energy. And certain people resonate with spirituality in a way that somebody else might not. I believe it's just a corridor, you know. It gives us access to whatever spirit source energy underlines all things. Something like that going on, more than something that, like something universal for everybody. I think in the end, the spirit source of energy is universal, but I think that while we're here, nobody can. Second Amendment. Well, anyways, I'm not in the mood for talking about that. We're coming into Punxsutawney now, and this is where they have the Groundhog Day, annual Groundhog Day, they call it. And for anybody that has watched the very famous movie, probably everybody in the world practically has watched it, with Bill Murray, Groundhog Day. The movie wasn't actually filmed here. It was actually filmed in Woodstock, Illinois, if you want to know the trivia. There was a little bit of that movie, the very beginning, the opening scene when he left the news station, and it shows the weather van driving through Pittsburgh. That was really filmed in Pittsburgh, and it showed a few scenes of it going into the hills. That was filmed in, in Pennsylvania, probably somewhere outside of Pittsburgh. But when the weather van pulls into the town in that movie, it's actually Woodstock, Illinois. But something kind of interesting. In the movie, there's that scene with the bowling alley. Now, I know the movie was not filmed here, but if it was, this is where the bowling alley scene would have been. Check it out. It's kind of neat. So even though the movie wasn't filmed here, I think of Bill Murray's character, Phil, hanging out playing pool with his drunken friends. Now we're getting into the downtown area of Punxsutawney, the world famous Punxsutawney. Now, it might not seem like a big deal, but this town swells with anywhere from 40 to 80,000 on average visitors worldwide on Groundhog Day. 40 to 80,000 people show up to Groundhog Day. I was really surprised. I think this alleyway is looks really cool. I love alleyways. I think they're kind of like a work of art if they're cool. Like that one, definitely a work of art. And there would be the railroad down there that Bill Murray's character would have drove on if it was actually filmed here, which it wasn't. If you when you go into town, it's compared to Woodstock, Illinois, it is a little bit of a drop off. This here is Punxsutawney Pizza. It's a bar. This is real PA here, This is what it's like. This is the real deal here. Yeah, they got like the whiskey in there. Real cool place, huh? Pizza shop. The Burro, I don't know if that's probably another bar. Everything is kind of named after the groundhog theme, The motif is the groundhog for sure. There's a lot of good food deals, and not the healthiest always. Sometimes it is, but I like Pennsylvania. You can really, you can live here, You can afford to live here. And as long as you pick the right spot, pretty good area. You could find a lot worse places than Punxsutawney to live. See, everything is, here we are downtown. And this is the Punxsutawney Phil souvenir shop. There's downtown. They're just getting rid of a building over there. And I'll take her to see, the town doesn't really have that charm that the movie production crew that put the movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray together. It just didn't have that town square. So when you're in the town here, you're not getting the feel that was it with the town of Woodstock, Illinois, and that's why they, filmed it there. They also, the Groundhog Festival, it's about 2 or 3 miles outside of town. It's not like right in town. And here is a really cool hotel. Look at that. It's called The Shadow. Obviously after the motif of, does Phil see his shadow? Because if he sees his shadow, it's another 6 weeks of winter. If he doesn't see his shadow, it's going to be an early spring. Sure, thank you. God bless you. And here is a pretty cool looking bookstore. Maybe I should go in there just to see what might be up. Friendly lady, a little odd, but friendly. I think it was a Christian track. You don't see that too much anymore. Back when I was a kid, no roads getting up there in years. I'm from Generation X. You used to see Christian tracks, chick tracks they used to call them. I think you still have them. I think I'm going to go to that bookstore real quick and see if there's anything really cool in there. I want to get I'm looking for a Tanakh. A Tanakh is a Jewish Bible. It stands for Torah, Nevi'im, Ketuvim. Ketuvim means the holy writings. Nevi'im is that's plural for the prophets. And then the Torah, which is the first 5 books. This here is the park. Not much of a town square feel, does it? It's not at all like a town square. All right, let me run across here real quick. No, the road's still fast. My birthday's tomorrow, by the way. 56 years. Pretty young. Pretty young for an old 56er. All right. I tell you, I invested a lot of resources into staying healthy. Whenever I have resources, I invest in gyms and health food, and whatever I can get, supplements. Stock up, throw them away. You know what I mean? Always tinkering around. My body's always in the shop. Probably one of the reasons is because I'm not athletically at all. Now this is kind of a cool deal. Unfortunately, this guy is cutting the grass. I just so happened to pick that time to show up, of course. But here is the real Punxsutawney Phil. It's his bureau. And everybody gets to come by and say hi to him. Phil's Burrow. And there he is. That's Punxsy. That's Phil. Yep, there he is in there. They're feeding him. Hey, Phil. There he is, the world's most famous and beloved weatherman, Punxsutawney Phil. They say he's a legend. He's the same one, they say, that started it all in the 1800s. They give him an elixir. 7 years, they say. Of course, it's just, you know, fun for the legend. But yeah, that's what this town is. It's just the entire motif is Punxsutawney Phil and Groundhog Day, and everything is Phil and Groundhog Day. Now the Miller's Knob is the place where they actually do the groundhog event, and that's about 2 or 3 miles outside of town, and it's kind of in a prettier location. Well, anyway, I guess I'm going to cut the video off here. Wish you all well, and it was kind of fun for me to do. It wasn't too boring, but yeah, here we are from the weather capital of the world, and the hometown of the world's most famous and beloved weatherman, Punxsutawney Phil. Noah Road, wishing y'all a lovely, lovely autumn, or whatever season you may be in, depending on what part of the world you're at. Well, yeah, this is the Shadow Hotel. I would love to stay here. They've been working on this thing for a good year. Like I say, this is Shadow. It's going to be 6 more weeks of winter. If he doesn't see the shadow, then it's in early spring. And there it is, the Shadow Hotel. Look, they got some kind of a really nice restaurant on top. It's all window. I think they're going to have a really nice restaurant, maybe a bar, kind of a nightclub thing, like a mellow nightclub, not a bopping nightclub. It's probably going to be a little expensive. But boy, they've been working on it a long time, and they look at that, still got a long way to go. But when it's up and running, I bet it's going to be really nice. All right, here we are, smack dab in downtown Punxsutawney. With that said, wish you all well. I'm going to go over to that bookstore, check it out real quick before I meet my friend, and we head back to St. Mary's. But that's now. For now.